Now on the CTV News at 5, counting down the days until Christmas, retailers prepare for the last-minute holiday rush. Different paths for Alberta, but when will we know more?
I don't want to bury it. I mean, I think the debate has happened.
What the Premier says Albertans should prepare to decide on in a vote. And getting thrifty for Christmas, how some shoppers are turning to second-hand for the holidays.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jordan Canigan.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. The countdown to Christmas is on as shoppers look to cross items off their list. Local businesses are preparing for a late rush of customers before Thursday. Quinn Keenan has more.
It's been a hectic shopping season already for downtown businesses. Several are reporting that they'll do better this year than last. It follows a trend of recovery since the COVID pandemic.
As COVID ended, it's just gotten better and better every year, and this year is no exception. I've seen people, people are looking for deals, of course. They're being a little bit tight with their money, but once they find what they want, they're eager to buy it.
The holiday shopping season isn't over just yet. The next 2 days promise to be some of the busiest retail days businesses will see all year.
Oh, it's definitely a great challenge for us. We've definitely seen a swell of shopping locally this year, and we've tried to keep up with that and anticipated what people would want.
Many shoppers will likely opt for big box stores and chains for their last-minute shopping. Local business owners are urging customers to consider shopping local to keep their dollars in the community.
Well, we sure appreciate it when people shop local. Our company is 100% local, and there's lots of stores like that around. These are your neighbors. These are the guys buying hockey jerseys for the teams. These are the people in our community.
There's hope this last shopping rush could have some carryover into the new year. The Downtown Business Revitalization Zone is optimistic shoppers will continue to visit the downtown even after the holidays.
The more and more great experiences people have downtown, the more they tell their two friends, the better off we all are, and the more people understand and live the experience of coming downtown and really having a fabulous time down here.
Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
And with many picking up those last-minute items and wrapping them to be put under the tree, officials say don't forget what can and cannot be recycled. While the holidays see a spike in garbage being collected, organizations in Lethbridge are hoping a little creativity can help reduce that waste. Carson Marsuk reports.
A staple under many Christmas trees are beautifully wrapped presents decorated in colorful paper, ribbons, and bows. But those items are putting a big strain on the environment.
The majority of gift wrap is not recyclable. All of the things that make it shiny and pretty, usually that's a plastic coating over top of the paper, so it's not accepted in your blue bin.
Kathleen Shepard says there's environmentally friendly ways to wrap presents. All you need is a little creativity.
Lots of people turn to like the brown craft paper, and then a little bit of added decoration makes a nice touch. But things like gift bags are a nice alternative.
But it's not just the use of wrapping paper and decorations that increases during the holidays.
All of your food waste, even things like parchment paper. If you're a baker, you're probably using some of that. That can also go into your green bin. So yeah, a great time of year to make use of getting those organics into the right place.
And being environmentally friendly doesn't just have to happen around the holidays.
Giving the gift of an experience not only is green and sustainable, but it's something that you can enjoy throughout the year.
While the winter season tends to be slower for tourist destinations in the city, Aaron Crane says alternative gifts like ski passes, classes, and tickets can have a lasting impact on both people and businesses.
A membership at the Galt Museum or the Southern Alberta Art Gallery or Nikiyuko Japanese Garden. Then you get to enjoy those attractions throughout the year.
Carson Marsuk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
And if you do have a tree set up this week, the City of Lethbridge Christmas Tree Collection Program will be taking place on January 10th. While the Premier says the province isn't trying to bury the findings from the Alberta Next panel. The panel, which included members of the UCP caucus and the community, held a number of town halls over the summer and fall, along with an online survey. In the Friday afternoon release of the findings, the panel called for 3 referendums, including whether to opt out of the Canada Pension Plan. Speaking on a provincial radio show, the Premier spoke on the panel's findings being shared just days before Christmas.
I don't want to bury it. I mean, I think the debate has happened. We had 22,000 people issue comments. We had 800,000 people watch the various panels online. We went to 10 different communities, had 5,000 people participate in person, and many others who participated in the survey. So I would say it's a very high level of engagement.
The panel also suggested creating an Alberta police force to replace the RCMP in 2032. The Premier won't be speaking in any public events until at least January 19th. Elections Alberta says it was notified that there will be a new citizens petition question submitted on coal mining in the Alberta Rockies. Musician Corb Lund applied earlier, but rule changes meant the petition was not issued. Lund has been a vocal opponent of any coal mining and exploration in the eastern slopes of the Rockies. He has now submitted his intention to reapply for the petition. He will also not be subject to the new petition fee of $25,000. His application will still cost $500. The Retail Council of Canada says there's been an alarming rise in the circulation of fake $20, $50, and $100 bills. The council says in the past month alone, its members have reported more fake bills than the entire previous year. They say counterfeits have become so good they are almost impossible to detect, especially during the holidays when retailers are busy and in a rush. They believe they are being printed by organized crime and are calling on the government and police to do more to stop it. Canadian businesses lose close to $9 billion per year to theft and fraud. Let's bring in Jody now for a first look at weather. And look, we don't need to break any news. It's been cold.
It has been so cold, and we're still feeling that effect right now. But it's cold enough that I wanted to offer you a perspective. So the coldest spot in Canada so far today is in the Yukon, where we've had minus almost 52 degrees. That's the ambient temperature. For comparison, the hot spot in all of Canada, about 10 degrees in British Columbia, around White Rock. So we're looking at a very expansive difference. A number of yellow level extreme cold warnings in place across the province, and we have some special weather statements as well. Our current temperature right now, we're still sitting at minus 17, and we're on our way to a much better daytime high for tomorrow, looking at about 3 degrees with some increasing flurries, but overnight minus 30 with that wind chill.
Thank you, Jody. Cranbrook RCMP are asking the community for help to identify a vehicle believed to be involved in a shooting. Around 9 a.m. on Sunday, officers received multiple reports of shots fired in the area of Innes Avenue. Police say no one was struck or injured by the discharged rounds. Mounties believe the shooting is targeted, but is asking anyone who may recognize this vehicle or have video surveillance in the area to contact them. An update from Lethbridge Police. 14-year-old Trinity Laffin, who was last seen on December 15th, has been found safe. Police are thanking the public for their help. The town of Coaldale and Lethbridge County have entered into a 3-year extension of their existing emergency services agreement. Under the renewed agreement, the town of Coaldale Fire Department will continue to deliver a full range of emergency services within Lethbridge County, including fire suppression and rescue, response to motor vehicle collisions, and medical first calls. The town will also continue to deliver fire inspections and fire investigations within the county on a fee-for-service basis. The agreement extension will provide stability and continuity of service for residents while allowing both municipalities to plan effectively for future emergency service needs. The reopening of Stan Seawick Pool has been delayed. The City of Lethbridge saying unforeseen issues with the pool basin is behind the delay. The facility has been closed since December 1st for annual maintenance and was originally supposed to open today. As work continues, the city says residents can use the Fritz Sick, Nicholas Sheeran, and Corvan Ray YMCA. In the meantime, there's no word on when the pool will reopen. Well, spending on second-hand or Thriftmas is popular this year. Instead of buying fully priced items, some shoppers are opting to try to find some hidden gems this Christmas. CTV's Sarah Plowman went shopping to learn more.
The aisles map the route. Shelves hold the treasure. Thrift stores are full of finds, and Paige Morgan is out to discover them for Christmas.
It's better for the environment and then my pocket. I have a very small pocket.
We have a lot of...
As higher costs drag bank accounts down, thrifters have more company. Home care worker Kathy DeLong helps seniors, and today is helping those who are shut in shop for Christmas.
Everybody's on a fixed income, and especially seniors. They got to watch their money very carefully.
Thrift stores have noticed a lot of traffic this season.
We sold a lot of toys. It's a lot of families that are coming in that can't seem to afford the full cost of a lot of the stuff, but still want to give the kids things.
Same down the road, where shoppers scoop up furniture or decorations.
It's those, a lot of times it's those unique gift ideas as, oh, I'm looking for something really interesting for a family member. And
this Fredericton consignment store has also noticed a bump in sales.
I think people have caught on that you can stretch your budget further and not sacrifice quality or the styles you want.
Beyond the discount, store owners highlight other perks.
You're not having to, get into the commercialism and you're repurposing valuable things people that have loved in the past and they're getting passed on so someone else can love them just as much.
Another reason for this mom to buy her kids' toys here.
Some toys he gets that are for gifts, I find them in the thrift store, like for $5, and it's just better to get them here instead of them going to the landfill.
Swapping Christmas for Thriftmas. One find at a time. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
Well, thousands of kids are getting a gift for Christmas thanks to an annual fundraiser by Calgary firefighters. The Calgary Firefighters Toy Association connects with both the public and Catholic school boards and the Salvation Army to find families in need. This year, 1,600 families are taking part, with more than 4,000 gifts being handed out.
We see so many different families experiencing their worst days, and this is a great opportunity to give back and help those less fortunate, to bring some Christmas joy. And it's great for our members to be able to connect with the community in a different way outside of emergencies.
Along with the gifts from Santa, there were some snacks, live entertainment, and face painting. The Firefighter Association has been running the campaign since 1940. Jody is up with weather next, plus the warning from the SPCA. A fatal case of bird flu in a dog is recorded in Alberta for the first time.
Well, we are dealing with some pretty cold temperatures, -17. That's without the wind. We have a mist or almost a fog is that saturated air. And then our temperature, or our wind is fairly mild right now. But what we'll notice is that we are going to have quite a distinct wind chill. Not as bad as everywhere in the province. And we do have some warnings associated with that cold, not just for the ambient temperature, but also due to that risk that is posed from those wind chill values. It's -28 right now in Fort McMurray, -30 in Grand Prairie, so northern Alberta even colder, -17 in Lethbridge, and then -18 in Medicine Hat. Throw in that wind and it's feeling like -34 in parts of our northern regions and -27 in Brooks and Medicine Hat. Those yellow level extreme cold warnings are in place in the blue. This is all a part of Environment and Climate Change Canada's new alert system, where we have color-coded weather alerts. A yellow alert is indicative of a situation where you have moderate impact. It's likely to be localized and it's likely to be short-term. Inside of that, there's a special weather statement because there is an incoming system that will really impact parts of central and northern Alberta once this cold changes. And with the wind and that cloud cover, you can even see it with our isobars where that cooler air is continuing to sink down in towards southern Alberta. We have precipitation moving in from that Pacific system that will meet up with that colder air. And at times we'll have very heavy snow. Look at the difference, though, in temperature, even by tomorrow. We have positive values for Lethbridge, for Medicine Hat sitting at 0, and even in through the interior, temperatures between 3 degrees in Cranbrook or 3 degrees in Kelowna, and then minus 23 if you keep tracking up the QE2 toward Edmonton. And here's what I was talking about with that colder air and where it will meet up with that system from the west. This is our polar vortex, very low riding jet right now. And so that cold air is quite prolific across the southernmost border of the prairie provinces. And when we look at that persistent pattern, it's going to stay like that even into Thursday, where you have a very elongated trough off the Pacific Basin that will start to track inland. We have temperatures like -8 for the overnight value in East Kootenay, about -9 in Crow's Nest Pass, and then tomorrow -1 in Medicine Hat, looking at -23 overnight with wind chill values of -31, and then +1 for tomorrow. That moisture will start to enter our region late on Tuesday and into Wednesday, with heaviest accumulations in around Red Deer and areas north. 3 for tomorrow, and then a really rapid decline once again. That colder air, that vortex starting to dominate once more. -13 for high on Wednesday, -14 on Thursday, and then on Friday, -3.
A dog has died after contracting avian influenza, the first reported case in a domestic dog in Alberta. The sickened 10-year-old golden doodle was taken to an Alberta practice in November after ingesting a sick snow goose a week earlier. The dog's condition worsened over the following days, and it died 4 days later. This is the second detection of H5N1 in a domestic dog in Canada, following a case in Ontario 2 years ago. The Alberta SPCA reminds pet owners to keep them from wild birds and carcasses and to avoid feeding them raw poultry or unpasteurized milk. Alberta has now surpassed 2,000 confirmed measles cases since the outbreak started this spring. There are 8 new cases since last week's update. 7 are in the North Zone and 1 in the Central Zone. Since March, there's been 2,003 confirmed cases of the measles in Alberta. The best protection against the highly infectious disease is 2 doses of the MMR vaccine. A home in Claresholm that helped shape the early history of health services in a southern Alberta community is receiving new protections. The Dr. McMillan residence has been given a provincial historical resource designation from the Alberta government. The home was constructed in 1916 with a dual-purpose design, serving as both a home and a medical office, complete with an operating room and an X-ray machine. For more than 20 years, it was occupied by 3 successive doctors. The new designation provides legal protection to recognize and preserve historical places. Alberta Health Services says it's collected more than 1,200 toys during its Toys for Tickets campaign. For the past month, those who received a parking ticket at an AHS facility could make a toy donation in lieu of payment. The toys will be delivered across the province to hospital foundations, community partners, and local charities. A man who has spent much of his adult life living in Calgary has completed a rare cross-Canada trifecta. Trevor Redmond, known as the Fellow in Yellow, has completed a run across Canada from Halifax to Vancouver. The 54-year-old did the run to promote courage and encourage people to get healthy. 18 years ago, he also walked across the country, and in 2009, he cycled across our nation, giving him the distinction of accomplishing 3 different nationwide human-powered journeys. What is the busiest travel time of the year as Canadians from across the country head out on vacation or to visit family and friends? But it appears there is one destination that is still getting the cold shoulder. CTV's Scott Hurst reports.
During the holiday season, Toronto Pearson, Canada's busiest airport, is expecting more than 3 million passengers, so it'll likely be very busy. It is a similar story at airports right across the country, both big and small, but as the year comes to a close, one glaring travel trend stands out.
We have boycotted traveling to the States.
Travel to the United States continues to take a hit. In October, according to new data from StatsCan, the number of Canadians returning on trips from the U.S. was down more than 26% year over year. Political turmoil with the current U.S. administration erupted soon after Donald Trump returned to the White House and he began poking fun at America's northern neighbor and attacking Canada's sovereignty. It is a trend that has remained consistent for much of the year, Canadians saying no to popular U.S. travel hotspots.
A lot of concern going forward about who is going to be traveling and will they be traveling back to the U.S., and time will only tell. But at this point, definitely I'm seeing a reduction in crowds and people and lineups and reservations and anything like that.
It is a similar story for Canadians traveling south of the border back by car. Return trips by Canadian residents from the U.S. on land declined more than 30% to 1.6 million in October. Here's one category that has turned around. Trips to Canada by U.S. residents has increased for the first time in 8 months. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, Sidney Crosby reaches another milestone. We'll tell you where Captain Canada now ranks on the NHL's all-time scoring list. The BCHL is on its holiday break after wrapping up this weekend's slate of games. On Friday, the Brooks Bandits finding themselves trailing 3-1 to the Spruce Grove Saints after the first period, but a 5-goal outburst in the second period helped drive a Brooks comeback. The Bandits went on to win 8-4. Sunday against the Sherwood Park Crusaders was a back-and-forth game, but a couple of late empty net goals sealed a 7-5 Bandits win. Meantime, the Cranbrook Bucks were in action at home as well this weekend. After scoring first, the Bucks trailed the Okotoks Oilers midway through the third. A late comeback fell short as the Bucks went on to lose 4-3. Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby has reached another historic milestone. Crosby passing Mario Lemieux for most points in franchise history with a goal and an assist on Sunday. The native of Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, now has 1,724 points. Crosby now sits 8th in all-time NHL scoring, 31 points back of Steve Yzerman. Still ahead, Santa takes to the streets and the sea, while thousands of people don the red and white suits across the globe. Well, it's a busy week for Santa. It's also a busy week for people dressing up as the big man right across the world. Thousands of runners wearing the festive red and white costumes took over the streets of Madrid on Sunday. More than 10,000 people dressed as Santa or one of his elves to take part in a 4.5-kilometer race through the Spanish capital. It's the 14th year of the charity run for Spain's Red Cross. Meantime, in Greece, hundreds of jolly stand-up paddleboarders took to the water. Members took over the waterfront to dress up as Santa and spread some Christmas cheer. That's it for our show this evening. Thanks so much for watching. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.